You're wasting time in your exam. Imagine you're 15 years old, and they're the words of your teacher, Mr. Scott, to you. Now you have a choice. You're going to pay attention, put your head down, or continue wasting time. I chose to continue wasting time. But I've never forgot those words. Initially, it was because of the funny Scottish accent. But over time, I began to realise they held real wisdom. If you'd been with me in May 2015, you'd have seen a man almost broken. We'd have been in a small hospital room. You'd have seen me sat next to the hospital bed with my 6-year-old son lying there, James. The only reason James is still alive was the Vapotherm machine. See, James had a severe chest infection, and he was at the top end of what that machine could deliver. If it deteriorated much further, I'd lose my son. I was focused on a different machine, the saturation monitor, which told me how well James's lungs were working. 88, 89, 90. He's getting better. I'm going to be taking him home. 91, 90, 89. I'm losing him. I was obsessed with that machine. I barely ate, I barely drank, I barely slept. Just watching those numbers. At the end of that week, in walked Dr. Jerry, the head doctor at the hospital. He came over, head of his profession, and he knelt down to be on my level. He said, "Leon, we need to talk about turning the machine off." They were giving up on my son. He said, "No, not James's machine, the saturation monitor. See, James's condition won't be solved minute by minute or hour by hour, but day by day and week by week. And if you continue to obsess over that machine, it will break you." Isn't it interesting how often we spend time on things that only matter minute by minute and hour by hour, at the cost of those things that really matter month by month, year by year, and for the rest of our lives? What followed was 6 hellish weeks. But at the end of that time, James came home, away from the machine that had saved his life, and me away from the machine that had almost broke mine. But I was a changed man. And not all those changes for the better. My wife hated my new massive beard. But I started to remember the words of Mr. Scott, and I stopped being willing to waste time. Facebook, off. Reading the news, off. A job where I wasn't progressing, off. I've quit 2 jobs and doubled my income. What do you want to achieve? Where are you wasting time? Is it too much time spent on social media? Is it time spent doing those jobs you could pay someone else to do? Is it time spent trying to fix videos in presentations? I want you to commit to yourself today that when you look in the mirror, you won't hear the voice of my old teacher. "You're wasting time in your exam."